Hi, I'm Renée Walker, a mindset mentor, speaker, and lover of all things spiritual. I believe that at our core, we are all spiritually wired for love, peace, success, and abundance. Here on the podcast, we're diving into mindset, wellness, and business, but always through a spiritual lens. Let's just say we're going deep, but we're keeping it light. So let's elevate your life from the inside out, one conversation at a time. Welcome to Spiritually Wired. Welcome back to the Spiritually Wired podcast. I've got an episode for you, which is all about self-sabotage. And I just am recording this in real time because I've just recently gone through something in my life where I was able to catch myself right in the middle of potentially self-sabotaging my own success. And I witnessed it. I saw it happening. Thank goodness I saw it happening. I was aware of it. And I was able to course correct, to choose differently, because this is something that I have been actively working on, which is increasing my capacity to hold more success, to hold more abundance, to hold more health. Health has been a big one. And the way in which I'm doing that first is in being aware of this pattern that has been happening for years. And so I thought, okay, I've just got to hop on, grab my mic, and I'm going to talk a bit about it because I have seen it happening for my clients. It is a topic that topic of conversation with friends. And it's amazing how it's something that we all do in some way. But when we think of self-sabotage, usually we think about, we self-sabotage ourselves by being lazy. Maybe we're just not committed enough, or we're lacking something. But really, what self-sabotage is a capacity issue. And that means that the work, once that we're aware of it, well, first of all, the only way to break any pattern is to break the pattern, to choose differently once we're aware of it. But it is to work on increasing our capacity to hold whatever it is that we're working towards bringing more of in our lives. So whether that, again, is more health, more success, more downloads on your podcast, more money in your bank account, more depth of connection in your relationships, all of that, all of the different areas, they're all affected by this here. So probably the best way in which, or the best explanation of this, is in the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. He speaks about this upper limit problem. And that is, for me, when I read that book in particular, something clicked, because he explains it in such a simple way, which is that everyone, well, first of all, we all have a subconscious mind. We have a nervous system, and I use the two a little bit interchangeably because everything is connected. But essentially, our subconscious mind is designed to protect us, to keep us safe. And so based on our upbringing, based on the experiences that we've had, on the family that we grow up in, so the beliefs that we're surrounded in, the people, the society in general. So based on all sorts of different things that are going on in our life, our subconscious mind will develop certain beliefs, but also a capacity in which the subconscious mind feels safe to experience certain levels of, and I'm going to go back to all those areas: success, abundance, health, all of it. So at some point in our lives, our subconscious mind decided, okay, when it comes to success, when it comes to money, I feel safe when I have this amount of money. But anything more feels very unsafe. And so I am going to do everything that I can in order to keep me within my safety zone, whatever that zone is. So think of it as a thermostat, but it's your inner thermostat. And that has been set, again, in your childhood based on experiences that you've had. It's happening at the subconscious level. So it means you're not conscious of this going on it's like happening right at the bottom of the ocean, right? So just, it's right there. So, what happens when we are setting goals, when we are connecting with our desires, a lot of it is happening at the conscious level. So, I can consciously say that I want to bring in more money. Let's use money as an example. So I want to create this money. I want to bring this much more money in my business, and I'm working towards that. But if my subconscious mind has decided that my capacity doesn't feel safe with the amount of money that I'm calling in, I can take all of the actions. Subconsciously speaking, I'm going to be sabotaging myself in terms of making sure that I stay within a level that feels safe. So in a relationship, right, I only feel comfortable. It only feels safe for me to connect at this level with someone. Any more feels very unsafe. I'm too vulnerable. This doesn't work for me. And so this is where, someone can sabotage themselves in a relationship. So I just witnessed this happening in my life in real time. And again, this is something that I've been working on for a long time. So there's a lot of self-awareness around it. But what happened was that I got this email, and it's a big win for my podcast. Like, I was so excited, and feel so thrilled, and I can't wait to share it with all of you, but I can't quite share it yet. Anyhow, I get this email. I'm so excited. There's action required. So there's some steps that I have to take in order to finalize it. It's like the door is open. Door is open. Here it is. There's a few actions to take, minor, and then off we go. So I get this email. I'm so excited. Like, oh my gosh, yay. I'm celebrating. There's a few people with me, and I'm celebrating with them. But then at the moment, I was not in a space where I could take the actions right away. So I'm like, I'm going to come back to it when I can. Few days later, I have a call with my coach, and I'm sharing with her this win because I'm excited about it. As I'm sharing this win, I'm realizing I never took the actions that I was supposed to take. I didn't fulfill the steps that I was supposed to take. Now, it wasn't that late. Like, I was still well within the time frame. But in that moment, I could just feel it. I had this deep awareness of, this is how you self-sabotage. This is how you stop the flow of abundance coming your way. Because what happens is that this email, for some reason, this opportunity is hitting an upper limit. It means, ooh, we're opening up now to more listens, more downloads, more success with this podcast. Subconsciously speaking, my subconscious mind, my nervous system needs to be on board with this. So even though at the conscious level, I can say, yes, tremendous win. I'm so excited. Let's go. Subconsciously, your subconscious mind needs to also be on board with that. And that is the disconnect. This is what is happening. See that so often with health. Health is such a great example of that, in the sense of, you want to feel better. You want to maybe lose some weight to have more energy. And right, there's certain things that are calling you healthier food, you name it. Moving your body, maybe it's doing weights because you know it's the healthy thing to do. You start doing it, you start to feel better. You know, the energy is ramping up and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Why haven't I been doing this for this long? I don't understand. And then, I don't know, maybe you go away for a weekend and all of a sudden you're out of your routine, you don't get back on. Maybe there's an injury. Now, I know this is always, that can sometimes trigger people, but yes, we can subconsciously create some injuries. And I'm not saying that we're doing it because we want to harm ourselves, but it is incredible the ways in which our subconscious mind will do what it needs to do in order to keep us within that capacity. So when we start to really bring awareness to, I am starting to tap that upper limit, and this is feeling like, wow, it's a lot. Again, consciously, we could be right on board and we're right there. But what we want to do in that case is work on increasing our capacity so that our subconscious mind, our nervous system is on board with receiving this level of success, abundance, money, health, energy, all of it. And so this is the big thing when it comes to self-sabotaging. It really is about capacity. So there are a few ways that we can expand this capacity so that you can finally stop self-sabotaging and really allow yourself to receive. So when we speak of capacity, it's like your capacity to receive needs to increase so that you can allow that flow. Energy is one thing. So whether it's coming from the area of money or finances or relationships, or when we can look at it as this one big thing, and what we're doing is increasing our vessel so that we can receive more. It shifts, it changes everything. So, okay, here are a few practical, tangible ways. One is learning to regulate your nervous system. So, as I mentioned, expansion, allowing more requires feeling safe. This is the big thing. The more that you can regulate your body, your nervous system, the more capacity that you are going to have to receive the abundance of energy in whatever area it is. Now, your nervous system needs to be shown that it is safe. One of the best ways to connect with it is to use your breath, but it needs to be reminded, your nervous system needs to be reminded that it is safe to receive. So any practices that will ground you energetically, whether it's your meditation, it's walks outside in nature, it's breath work, it is any type of somatic practices, rituals. You know, you've heard me talk about rituals a lot because rituals to me anchor your days. And so any practices that allow you to ground yourself energetically to feel safe is key to being able to increase your capacity. So I love to think about it as when I know that I'm working on something. So I had the awareness, for instance, that wow, in that moment, yes, this is what an older version of me would have done, is just delay the email, you know, maybe forget, maybe do whatever it is and not follow through with it. So the opportunity is there, but then I'm not following through with it. So that is a way that I could have self-sabotaged myself in that way. So in the moment before I replied with the information that was needed, it's taking a moment to really be safe, to remind my nervous system that it is safe for this expansion. Now, the second part of it is to actually visualize yourself receiving it. So being in the energy of receiving whatever it may be. So I'm going to come back to this example that I use because it's so real and it just happened. To be in the energy of this opportunity happening, this coming into existence. And so the visualizing piece, the thing with visualization that I'm realizing is sometimes we see it just through, we think that it's about what we're seeing with our eyes. But really, visualization, when I use the word visualization, it is a full body experience. It is bringing myself into the experience of receiving it so that I can now allow for my nervous system to get used to it, for my subconscious mind to see it as being in existence, so that when it actually is coming, it's not going to resist it, because now my subconscious mind, my nervous system, they're already used to it. Now I've already introduced that to them so that when it comes, okay, we're used to this. This is not new. This is not abort, like you take a few steps back, the alarms aren't sounding. I can actually, I'm more used to it. And that's the part that takes practice. So one of the things with visualizations, and I mentioned that I see it more as a full body experience. Some of us can see, so we're able to see images and see ourselves through our eyes or whatever it may be. Like it's almost like you're watching a movie. So it's easy for some people, and for some people it's not easy. And I get a lot of my students will say, I find it really hard to do that, and that's okay. So it's bringing yourself into, like, if I could see this, what would it look like? But then also experiencing it through all of your senses. What am I hearing? What am I seeing? What am I tasting? What am I feeling in my body? What's going through, like, what is the knowing that is happening within me? So involving all of it as one part of the experience. I am just in the process of finalizing my master NLP certification. One of the things that I love about NLP, neuro linguistic programming, when it comes to visualization, is we always do two parts to it. One is you are seeing it. So the first part of it is that you imagine yourself being in the experience. So as if it's already here. So this opportunity is right here in the moment. It's here. It's happened, right? So let's use an example of you're working towards feeling your healthiest in your body. So you are in your healthy body and you're looking out through your eyes, but you're in it. It already exists. And you're noticing and paying attention to the details around you, what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're hearing. All of the senses, again, are involved, but you're in your body. So you're at the top of the mountain and you're looking outside. So that is associated. Second part to visualization is now you want to disassociate with it. So now you are looking at yourself. So as if you're looking at yourself on a movie screen and you can see yourself on top of the mountain. You've climbed that mountain. Now you're looking at yourself on top of the mountain. You're looking at yourself in your top peak health, optimal health. You notice, again, all the details, what you're seeing with your eyes, what you're hearing, what you're experiencing. You're creating an experience, but you're seeing yourself. So that is so important. I love it. Like when you think of one of the goals that I have many of my clients are working towards is building their capacity to be able to be seen on stage. So they have this desire within themselves to want to speak on stages, but that is beyond the capacity of what they feel, what feels safe. Being on stage with people looking at them, feeling confident that they're going to have the words to say, all of that triggers a lot of insecurities. And so part of this work, you can imagine that when you're visualizing yourself already being on stage, one is you want to take some time getting used to being in the experience of I'm actually standing on stage and I'm looking out at the audience. So we're regulating the nervous system. We're shifting our inner thermostat setting so that now the subconscious mind is feeling safe with that experience. And then we're going to shift it where we're in the audience and we're looking at ourselves on stage. And now we're going to shift and we're going to remind our nervous system. We're going to bring our nervous system and our subconscious mind on board so that we can see ourselves on stage doing the thing. So that is a big part. So one, we want to make sure that we're regulating our nervous system. We're prioritizing that so that we can feel grounded. Two is we want to now bring ourselves into the experience of already having received whatever it is that we're bringing into our lives. The opportunity is there. The money is in the bank, right? Let's think of money. The money is in the bank. You see it. You can see you're opening up your app on your phone and the money is there. You are regulating your nervous system with that. You're getting used to the idea, to the experience of it already being in existence. So that is a big part of the work. When we talk about inner work, that is it. It is work. It's practice in getting yourself into that space so that now in doing that, what you're also doing is aligning yourself energetically with what it is that you're calling in. So your frequency is also going to now, we're just aligning ourselves with the frequency of what we're bringing in. But first, we've got to feel safe with it. So those are ways in which we can train our subconscious mind, our nervous system, to increase our capacity to receive. It also means practicing receiving, and not just that, practicing receiving in the small ways and in the big ways. Now, this is the Spiritually Wired podcast, and when it comes to like when I'm blending in spirituality with mindset, where it intersects is this. We are tapping in to a flow of abundance, unlimited possibilities. That's how we speak of it. Unlimited possibilities. There is abundance that is available to us. And so when we do the work to stay open to receive, then that is when we are able to receive not just in one area, but in all areas. If you're shutting yourself down from receiving compliments, from receiving help, from receiving anything that is more positive to you, then how can you expect to receive in other ways? Energy is flowing, it's coming and it's going, and it's meant to be recirculated. So one of the best ways that we can do that, we can increase our capacity as well, is just increasing our willingness, our capacity to receive in all areas of life. And then you want to celebrate. So remember that celebrating is a way in which we are increasing our capacity. Because sometimes what happens is that so let's say, and I know that I've done this before. So a win happens, something that is expanding the upper limit, it's going beyond it. So I can it's almost like I'm jumping, I'm grabbing it so I can receive it. I'm grabbing it, but then I'm pulling it back down into the old capacity. And so in doing that, inevitably something happens to shake things up, and then it doesn't end up staying. It's where money comes to people. Like you think of people that win the lottery, right? They will win the lottery, which is amazing. All of this abundance is flowing, but their capacity is set lower. And so even though it's there, usually something will happen so that they lose the money, the self-sabotage, and the money doesn't stay. So there's the initial work of being able to receive it. And then there's the work of holding that capacity, staying with it, being aware that whenever it is that you're going to be leveling up in some way, it requires a little bit of a workout, a little bit of getting used to, just like you would with your physical body when you're training, right? You don't go and do one workout and expect everything to change. You got to keep showing up for it. So there you go. The truth that self-sabotage is really a way in which our nervous system, our subconscious mind keeps us safe. And another great thing that I've learned through NLP is that everything happens in life, whatever happens in life, it's there as feedback, as data. It's not a reflection necessarily of you. So whenever it is, when you're doing this work, you're bringing awareness, you're realizing, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing. I've been shutting myself off from receiving. That's feedback. That's all it is. It's not about making it about you and making it, judging yourself for the ways in which you've been doing things. It's data. And now it's an invitation to what can I do to choose differently? How can I increase my capacity so that I receive more? So we want to always come to it from a place of curiosity and definitely from a place of love. So here we are. I would love to hear from you. So if you've got any experiences that if this is resonating with you in any way, please come find me on Instagram at Renée Walker Wellness and start the conversation. This is also the work that we do inside the Spiritually Wired membership, where we actually go deeper and we learn more tools to help us in holding this capacity and increasing it and holding it. So you can, I'm going to add the link in the show notes as well. So as always, I want to remind you that you are spiritually wired for love, for success, for abundance, for health, for money, for all of your dreams and desires. And I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to Spiritually Wired. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow and leave a review. It really makes a big difference for the podcast. And if you're ready to dive deeper and join a soul-led community, come be a part of the Spiritually Wired membership. With weekly live lessons and a rich library of recorded classes, it's designed to support you every step of the way on your spiritual journey. We currently have a special offer where you can receive your first month for half the price. You can find a link in the show notes or come check it out at ReneeWalkerWellness.com. Until next time, remember to take some deep breaths. Remember that you are spiritually wired.